Can you double check? Hey everybody, it's Leah from the Culinary Underground. Did I have sound? This is live. It is 4 o'clock Central European Time, what's today? 11th? March 11th, 2021. We're just checking to make sure our sound is working. We had some problems the other day. So if you can hear me, just bear with me a second. And if you can't hear me, just hang on. So let's see, Alex, can you push up the buttons on the side to make sure that the sound is on too? Up, one up, up. There you go. Yeah? Okay, so you should be able to hear us loud and clear. I'm Leah. I am chef, the Culinary Underground here in Italy. Culinary Underground is just me cooking food, making little food videos. We've been doing it for almost a year. On Sunday, it will be our 1-year anniversary of going live and making little cooking tutorials since we've been in lockdown. And as luck would have it, we are back in orange status here in Italy. That's Italy out there. It's chilly today. Orange status means we can only shop in our municipalities unless we have a reason to go to another town, like a hospital appointment, medical appointment, some shopping and things like that. All right, so I ran into one of our viewers today on base, Ila, and we discussed making poached eggs. So I'm going to give you my tutorial on how to make really easy poached eggs and some tips and tricks to give you that really beautiful, perfect egg. Excuse me. And if time has it, if we have time, I'm also going to make a quick Hollandaise sauce, like a 3-minute Hollandaise sauce. So is everybody out there, Alex? Oh, cool. Okay, so we have some viewers. Let's get started. I have some regular eggs. I don't even think they're organic, they're just regular eggs. And what we're going to do is we are going to poach them. Poaching means to cook in liquid like water or broth. So typically we poach eggs in water. One tip that I picked up in culinary school and just out in the real world working is just to add a little bit of vinegar to the water. The vinegar is going to help the albumin, the white part of the egg, stay really nice and firm. But we don't want our eggs to taste like vinegar. So I just have some standard cider vinegar here, nothing fancy. And I'm just going to put a capful, roughly like a teaspoon, between a teaspoon and a tablespoon, in the water. Not a lot of vinegar, not to make it taste like vinegar. Oh my gosh, I need water. All right, I'm also going to season my cooking water, right? When we make pasta, we kind of want our water to taste like the sea, right? Well, in poached eggs, I don't want my eggs to taste really salty, but I do want them to have a little bit of flavor because the only other flavor that they're going to have is with whatever I serve them with, okay? So, another trick that I was talking to Ela about today is cracking your eggs. I have found that when I crack them and put them in a little strainer, the excess water from the egg drops out into a little bowl, and then what I'm left with is that beautiful egg white and that beautiful egg yolk that I can gently put into my water to make my poached eggs. So I don't know if you can tell, if you've watched the show, I'm stalling a little bit because I'm trying to get my water to come up to a simmer. I don't want it to come up to a boil, I just want to have a simmer. So it looks like we're almost there. I'm going to go ahead and start. And I'm just going to carefully crack my egg. Now, you can live dangerously. Sometimes I like to, and you can crack your egg into the water. I would not recommend it though, because you could end up with scrambled eggs, the yolk could break. And by doing this little easy technique, the extra water that's in that egg, the older the egg is, the more water it's going to have, has dripped out, right? So when I poach this egg, I'm not going to get all that foamy, like extra protein up at the top of my water. So I've cracked one. I'm just going to set it into a little container carefully, and once this water comes up to a simmer, I'm going to plop it in. I'm just going to go ahead and do another one. I'll do a few eggs, maybe 3. So just cracking the poached egg, or the raw egg, pardonnez-moi, into my little bowl here, and I do have like, it looks like there's maybe the egg, okay, might have not been fertilized, but there's just a little extra stuff here in my egg, and it's not very attractive, so I'm just going to pull that out and drop it off to the side. I don't know if you can see, but there's just like a little funky piece there in the egg. Totally okay to eat, just isn't going to look very pretty in a poached egg. So if anybody has any questions, throw them on out. I'm excited because Sunday we're going to do a show that we normally don't do on Sundays. We're going to do a giveaway, and one of my friends who used to be a client here of mine in Italy and I used to do meal prep for, has asked for my egg roll in a bowl recipe, which I used to make pretty frequently since it was requested frequently. So I think on Sunday I'm going to go ahead and make a really easy egg roll in a bowl, Leah style. I can't say I'm consistent when I make it. I usually make it 5 different ways depending on what I have on hand at the time. And so I'd love to show you my recipe and, you know, have some fun on Sundays and maybe do a giveaway.
Randy Ponca says, hello, lovely.
Hello, Miss Randy. All right, so my water is almost to a simmer. It's not quite there, but let me get everything else that I have ready. If we do get everything done and make a hollandaise sauce, I did make a practice hollandaise ahead of time, and I have it staying warm in this little, like a coffee cup here. It's a clean coffee cup, and we will plate up some poached eggs with toast and some porchetta, if we have the time. All right, the water is steaming. It's got some bubbles pulling up. It's just about simmering, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started so I don't waste your time since you're so graciously giving me yours. So I'm just very carefully gonna drop my egg into the water. So hopefully I have angled this okay so you can see it. It's nice and tight and white. Right here the white is staying really nice and tight. If I had let this water go into the pan with the egg from the cup, you would have seen a little bit of like a flow of some white water, some white protein just kind of puff away and sort of curdle around. This is going to give me that beautiful teardrop, beautiful poached egg shape that we all love. So I have my slotted spoon handy. I'm going to go ahead and drop another egg. So for me, a perfect poach is about 4 minutes. So I'm going to set my timer because as I'm talking to you, I will forget the time and we'll end up with like overdone, non-runny yolks. See, this one might have had a little water still in it. I might not have let it sit and drain. So if you can see, can you see, Alex? There is that little extra bit of like funk there. Nothing wrong with it. It's fine. It's perfectly edible. But you see how tight this one is. This one I really let sit and I let that water come out. This one probably not so much, but it's okay. One of the tricks, if you've gone to like, you know, a beautiful hotel or a beautiful restaurant and had like this perfectly poached egg, restaurants do them 1,000 different ways. Some sous vide them, which means they put them into like a little plastic bag or some sort of carrier and let them submerge in water that's at a certain temperature constantly, and they'll poach their eggs that way. I've worked in restaurants where we've steamed them. We crack them in individual cups, stick them in a steamer, so when it gets flipped over on that English muffin with ham or Canadian bacon, it'll have maybe a little ridge from the shape of the cup. Some restaurants will do big pots of poached eggs. And the trick to making that egg look really beautiful before it hits your table is they'll take that egg out of the water and sometimes even with scissors cut off that extra egg white that maybe doesn't look so pretty to give you that really beautiful poached egg. Now I did talk to Ela about maybe making eggs the day before. A friend of mine worked at a restaurant in Arizona and the owner, chef owner, was a little, how do I say the word, protective of his eggs and his eggs Benedict and his poached eggs, and he wanted them done correctly. And as a chef, I do understand where he's coming from. You know, when you're in charge, you're running the show, when it's all on you, you want to make sure the product is, you know, up to your standards.
Kristen Vaughn says, do you like your eggs to be room temperature or fridge cold?
These are actually fridge cold. It just take an extra minute in the water, but you can have them out at room temperature. It depends. If I buy my fresh Italian eggs, I'll have them out at room temperature. If I'm baking, I always bake with room temperature eggs. So if you're poaching your eggs and let's say you pulled them out of the fridge, but you really want a room temperature egg, I would suggest sticking your whole egg in like a cup with some warm water, hot tap water, for about 5 minutes, and it will bring it right up to room temperature. And you can go ahead and bake, poach, and do whatever you like from there. I did make my hollandaise with cold eggs, and I did make these eggs with my poached eggs with cold eggs, just to show you like the out of the fridge, nothing complicated, nothing hard, super easy. I'm gonna go ahead and just give my little egg here just a little movement, making sure he's not sticking to the bottom. So anyway, the chef that my friend worked for would come in on Saturdays and poach up maybe 100 to 150 eggs and save them for the next morning service. And a lot of restaurants do that. It's totally okay. One thing you can do is if you're going to maybe make a really nice breakfast the next morning, but you don't want to stress having to poach, you have guests coming over, you can poach your eggs the day before, earlier in the day, the night before. It's not a problem. The only thing you're going to want to do is take your egg out of the water when it's done and submerge it into some cold water to stop the cooking process. If you let that egg just sit and sit and sit, the carry-over temperature, the temperature at which that egg came out of that water, is going to continue to cook that egg. And eggs are delicate. They will overcook. So that's one trick. You can cool them down, and then when you're getting ready to serve, you just bring some water up to a simmer, drop your egg in for a few seconds, put it on the toast, and you're done. So you can do poached eggs ahead of time. It's doable. So you see I've got this foam here, this kind of funk. We've got 26 seconds. I want to see where we're at. I'm just going to touch. Ooh, that egg feels good. Here's my pretty egg. I don't know if you can see how pretty the shape on this one is versus the one I didn't really let drain out of the strainer. So I've got some like extra little white funk there, but it's okay. So, random fact. I heard this on the radio the other day, but we also learned it in culinary school as well. The hats in a chef, those white pleats and that white chef hat, right? Those big, nice, tall hat. Each pleat, each fold indicates the different ways that a chef knows how to make an egg. So there's usually like I think over 100 ways to make an egg. Look at this beauty. All right, this one is not as pretty, but he's just as tasty. All right, he's got this extra little foamy stuff. I'm just gonna flip him over, and I would probably serve him like that, presentation side up. So I'm gonna drop one more egg in here because I do want to have one ready for the plating that I'm gonna do when we're done. Perfect. Let me get this out of the way. We're gonna cut one of these eggs open really quickly so you can see what it looks like.
Should grab the black plate so that we can see the
Oh,
white.
you want the black plate? Okay. So if you're hearing that voice in the background and you've never really seen the show, that's my teenage son, Alex. He's 17.
Hello.
He's amazing. I'm gonna take this ugly one. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna pop this egg into the water for a second because I want him to stop cooking. And let's see where we're at. Oh, beautiful, creamy poached egg. How does that look?
Looks great. Julie Talley says, hey, my friend, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, Julie. We've got Julie watching from Tulsa, Oklahoma. So super excited to have her. She joins us every week. It's been like, I think a year since practically day one. And we appreciate her support so much. She's awesome. All right, so my beautiful little egg is dropped. I'm gonna set my timer again for 4 minutes. That was a 4-minute egg. You could cook this to about 5 to 6 minutes for a little bit creamier, thicker yolk. Actually, we'll do that. So, well, when the 4 minutes is done, we'll put it for another minute. I don't want to get too sidetracked here. Okay. Oh my gosh, I did not crack my eggs ahead of time. So, let's see. Okay. Leah is all over the place. I am going to make my quick hollandaise. I have butter on the stove that's melted. Let me make sure it's still hot and turn it on. For just a second, I want hot butter. I have 2 sticks of butter in there, roughly a cup. I used about 3/4 of a cup for the hollandaise that I made a few minutes ago.
JC Vasquez, I hope I said the first name correctly. She says, where are those black plates from?
Oh, those are from Casa. There is a location in Chile. I'm not sure exactly where in Chile it's at, but I've gone to the one that's near the McDonald's on SS13, and that's where I picked up those black plates. I have the black and like the cream set, and then I also have these beautiful white ones with a lip that I picked up from Casa as well, which I just love. When I do my private caterings, I like to use those plates because they're just a blank slate for everything. So I'm just gonna use my fingers.
I heard a trick where you can use a water bottle to pull out the yolk.
You can use a water bottle. I'm not as dexterous as that. My dexterity isn't that great. Because I'm live and I don't want to make a mistake, I'm already just like nervous just cracking the eggs. Because if you've watched the show, you've seen me make mistakes in real time. It happens. I have been cooking professionally for quite a while, but I'm not perfect. Don't know everything. Don't claim to. But things happen when you're live. Things that you don't always expect. So I've got 3 egg yolks here. Now, as a classically French trained chef, I have learned how to make like a cup of hollandaise with 1 egg yolk. It takes some skill. Oh, that egg looks beautiful. All right, but it can be done. I am not gonna teach you the like culinary school 20-minute beaten with a whisk bowl process. It's just too long. So a little fresh lemon juice. I just have the little rear end of a lemon here. So maybe like a 1/2 teaspoon. I don't have any cayenne, but I do have some Italian pepperoncino. And in culinary school, I remember my chef that was teaching, I think it was Chef Burns, was like 14 pieces of cayenne. That's all you need. Of course, he was just giving us a hard time, but all right, giving my butter a second. So I've got my little handheld blender. I do have a regular blender, but here in Italy, we don't have American outlets in the walls, so I have a transformer, which is using the lights right now. I'm gonna use my little handheld blender to do this. All right, so turbo speed. I'm gonna beat the egg yolk for a few seconds to cream it. You could add a little bit of hot water to this. I didn't, and hope this comes out. Because again, I'm nervous, we're live. I've only been doing this for a year, guys, live. While I'm doing that, let me pull out, because I did put my little yolk in the ice water, and we're gonna get ready to pull the other egg out in just a second. Got this, I just need this butter to get hot again. So I don't know if you can see, but the yolk is starting to like get some air in it. It's starting to aerate, so it's thickening up and it's increasing in volume. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Feels a little thick. I'm just gonna stop for 1 second and get ready to pull this egg out. Now I did say we'd give it another minute, so let's go 1 more minute on this beautiful egg. And if you can see, I let him sit and drain. Oh, he's perfect right now. He's perfect. I'm pulling him out. He's got a nice tight white little capsule there. I'm just gonna put him in my water for just a second. I just want to stop the cooking process. I don't want to freeze him. He's perfect just the way he is. Let me give him a second in that little thing of water. All right, I've got my hot melted butter here. I'm just gonna pour it in my cup so we can see what's going on. All right. I'm going to slowly drizzle this hot butter into my egg yolks. We're trying to emulsify, because we're going to combine two things that wouldn't normally be combined. And if I were to add all this butter, and I'm talking about the lemon juice and the butter with the egg yolk, if I were to add all this butter at one time, it would possibly break and seize up and not, well, separate actually. Stop the little timer. And I don't want my sauce to break, or scramble for that matter. So I'm just letting the butter run down the side of the container. This would be easier in a blender, but I don't have the power source right now to plug in my blender. I've got quite a bit of butter in there, so let me see if I can save this. Okay, it's looking good still. Adding a little at a time. Where we're at. I mean, look, thick, ribbony, not as thick as I would like it, but we're getting there. Turn that off. All right. So, high. This was not as nerve-wracking 30 minutes ago. Really thick. What do you do if your sauce gets too thick? Oh my god. What do you do if your sauce gets too thick? Well, I'm glad it's super thick right now. Is you can add a little bit of lemon juice or a little bit of ice water. Not the ice cube, but the water. And that will help thin it out again. But as of right now, let's see where we're at. Oh my gosh, I'm making such a mess, you guys. Seriously, it's Leah Looney Tunes over here. I have this thick, creamy, beautiful Hollandaise. It's probably gotten a little tighter because I have the window open and the heat coming from the lights is being counteracted by the cold coming in from outside, and it's chilly out there. So I probably could take in a little bit more butter, but I'm gonna stop where I'm at right now. It's thick, it's creamy, but it is starting to cool off, so I'm gonna shut the window. All right. What is that? My timer. Okay, so let's clean up and let's plate. 3 egg yolks, roughly 3/4 of a cup of butter, but you could take in a little more butter. And let me see if I can add a little bit more in there. Let's just go ahead and do this. Now that it's warming back up in here, it's really gotten hot quickly. I'm gonna add a little bit more lemon juice. I'm gonna take out this spoon because I do want more hollandaise. So let me see, you see my mess? What's happened is the butter in my sauce is starting to get cold and tighten up. So it's creamy, it's good. We're just gonna stop there. All right. The temperature of the kitchen does get affected and does affect the outcome. So sauce, it's starting to just get warm or cold. So it's a little thick. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna mix it with a little bit of this sauce that I made earlier. Just to stretch it out. Go. Nice thick hollandaise sauce. Perfect. All right, let's plate. Let's do this. You totally missed it, Alex. I dropped the blender, everything. Oh my goodness. All right. Culinary tip, nice damp paper towel will keep your cutting board from moving around. Okay. I've got a plate here. I've got a couple of pieces of toast that I just toasted up before we went live. Again, we're live. There's no editing. You get what you get, right? You get what you get, you don't throw a fit. Oh my gosh, did I ever pull my egg out? Oh yeah, I did. Okay. Pulled my egg out. So I'm going to go ahead and drop these 2 bad boys back in the water for a second just to warm them up since they both cooled off. Just give them a second. I have some porchetta. I don't have any Canadian bacon on me right now, but if you had some ham, I just have some porchetta, which is just an Italian roast pork, nice roast pork meat. So good. All right, pieces there. Beautiful. Okay, get my eggs. In German, we call them Eier, so I like to say Eier, pants on fire. Makes no sense whatsoever. All right, so brought them back up to temperature. That's all it takes, is just a few seconds. I'm gonna get this water off of my egg. Oh no, I broke him. Oh, you guys, live, I'm screwing everything up. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. All right, pop this bad boy on there. Get some of this hollandaise sauce. Look at how thick and creamy that is. Oh my gosh. I hope you think it looks good because I think it looks good. All right, so I'm gonna post another one for presentation. Oh, my son's telling me to just breathe. I know, honey, but I get so nervous because once this is out in the interwebs world, it's there forever. All right, so I'm just gonna put a little chive there. Let's get into this little chive. I'm relaxing. Is there still anybody watching?
There's always people watching.
There's always people watching. All right, just a little, nice little pretty. And final touch, I like pepper on my eggs, so I'm just gonna do just a little dollop of pepper. This is breakfast by Leah. You got to see a poached egg start to finish and a 3-minute hollandaise sauce. You saw me make the mistakes. Of course, at home, you're not gonna be doing this for 10 or 12 people out there watching you, live. But definitely try it. In the blender, drop your egg yolks in there, a little squeeze of lemon, a little bit of cayenne. If you'd like, a pinch of salt. Blend, let that kind of get a little thick, let it get a little air, and then just drizzle in slowly. 1/2 cup, 3/4 of a cup, maybe even a cup of butter. 1 egg yolk, and we were taught this in culinary school, can actually take in like 6 ounces of clarified butter. So that's a lot. That's almost a cup of hollandaise from 1 egg yolk. So if you're using 3, you can definitely get up to half a cup of butter, not a problem. So let me cut this open. I will make another one for the final picture, but let's see. Oh yeah. I don't know if you can see that beautiful, can you see it, Alex? That egg. Let's try this other one. Look at that, liquid gold. That's actually what they call hollandaise. Let's give it a try here. So, okay, I'm gonna break off a piece with my egg and the hollandaise. I love poached eggs. Oh my gosh. And the hollandaise sauce, it's got that, just a hint of lemon. It's not a lemon sauce. So good. It gives Aaliyah thumbs up. Even if the canister falls over, you can still fix it. It's still good. So, all in all, these were about 4.5 to 5 minute poached eggs. I took them out. This was a 4-minute poached egg. You can see it's a little thinner, a little runnier. This one's a little thicker, I think a little more perfect. But definitely minutes count. So everybody almost has a smartphone. Set your timer when you're poaching. Nice simmer, not a rapid boil. You don't want that water boiling. You don't want those eggs turning over. But super easy. Give it a try. I definitely recommend straining the water out of your egg. It's important. It will give you that nice, beautiful egg shape. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry, I'm a little spazzy right now. I'm coming down from the crazy, but have a great afternoon. Thanks for spending it with me. I hope you try some poached eggs. I will post this recipe on the page as soon as we're done. I will also post it on the culinaryunderground.online. Check it out. I also put up a new focaccia video that I made last year, so it's not really new, but it's on the website, and I'm actually going to make that same focaccia that's on my website for a catering event tomorrow. So please, if you have the chance, make some focaccia bread. Let me know how it turns out. Have a great, great, great day. Thank you for giving me a little bit of your time. I appreciate it. I appreciate your support. We will do a special show on Sunday at 4 o'clock our time, so Central European time, and we're going to do a giveaway. I'll post what it is on Saturday once I figure out what it's going to be. But have a great day, you guys. Thank you so much. Ciao from Italy.